Today I want to talk to you guys about the absolute craziest Uber ride I ever had while I was driving for Uber. I get a lot of comments in the comment section on all these driving videos like, pay attention to the road, or God, why do you have to drive and talk at the same time? Can't you just pull over and do a video? It's like, look, I'm on my way to work. I did Uber and Lyft for about 2 years, all night, with a lot of crazy people on the road and a lot of crazy people in my car. And I would talk to them, have full-on conversations about what's going on. So I'd like to think I learned how to be able to walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. Now, as far as the craziest Uber story I ever had, it was around Halloween in 2018. And I remember that because the person I picked up was dressed up as Harley Quinn. Now, most people hear Harley Quinn and they're like, oh my God. No, this was a fairly heavy set Harley Quinn, but whatever. Regardless, it was like 2 a.m. and I got a request down south of San Diego in like the Chula Vista area. And it was to pick up at a Burger King. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, it's not really the best part of town, but okay, it's a ride and it's going towards my direction of my house away from here. So yeah, I'll take this ride. And I took the ride. I went over to the Burger King and looked into the Burger King. It was, like I said, middle of the night, 2 a.m. I think they were either closed or closing up or whatever. And I see the girl, it's like falling all over the place inside the Burger King, like clearly like drunk off her ass at least, but potentially on more than just alcohol. And I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be an interesting ride. So I proceed to wait for her for about 5 minutes, and she's just stumbling around there. I'm like, I drove all the way here. I don't want to just drive away. So I called her and she answered. It was all garbled, and I'm like, okay, I'm here. I'm waiting for you. That's what I hear. Okay. And she hangs up the phone. And she finally starts coming out of the Burger King at that point, as I was, I think, driving away. I don't really remember. It was a while ago. And she like falls into the car, like while the doors are closed. She's like falls into it. It's like thud. I'm like, oh God, good thing I drive a beater because I don't really care. And then she proceeds to open the door and then just fall into the car in the back seats and just lays down with the door still open. And she's like, drive. And I'm like, I can't drive. Your door's still open. And she's like, bleh. So I'm like, whatever. I'll get out and shut the door. So I shut the door, get back in, and start driving. And all of a sudden, I hear her on the phone in the back seat as I get onto the highway, like 2 or 3 minutes into the ride. And she's talking to the friggin' police. She's like, hello, 911? Yes, I'm in the back of a car. I'm being kidnapped. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm right here. What are you talking about? And she's like, sir, I don't know who you are. I don't know how you got me into this car, but I'm on the phone with the police and you're in a lot of trouble. I'm like, whoa. No. I'm your Uber driver. I'm just trying to get you to your destination. She goes, I didn't request an Uber. I know that. I know that you're a kidnapper and you stole me. I'm like, first off, no. Even if I was, no. But secondly, no, I'm not a kidnapper. And she proceeds to tell the police that she's on the highway and that I'm not pulling over. And I'm like, whoa, do you want me to stop on the highway? Because I can do that. And she goes, yeah, I want you to pull over right now. I'm still on the phone with the police. I'm like, you want me to pull over on the highway? She goes, well, not on the highway, no. I'm like, how about off an exit? Yeah. And of course, we're like, God, we like just passed an exit when all this was going on. So the next exit wasn't for like another 4 or 5 minutes. Most awkward 4 or 5 minutes of my life, while she's still on the phone with the police. I'm like sitting here waiting for like the cops to start surrounding my car at this point. She's telling them where we are, and I'm just like, this is insanity. It's insanity. She's like, we're on the 5 North, headed towards downtown. If you could send some squad cars, yes, thank you. And I'm like, lady, I'm dropping you off. Like, can you please just let me get to an exit here? So finally get to an exit. It was the first one into downtown San Diego, and I just stop and I'm like, please get out. I'm done. Get out. And she's like, well, I'm staying on the phone with the police. I'm like, I don't care what you do. Get out of the car. So she gets out and slams the door like as hard as she can. And I'm like, yikes. Like, psycho. She clearly was on something more than just alcohol. Like, at this point, I can tell. I've driven a lot of drunk people around. She was not in the right state of mind. So I freaking peeled the hell out of there and didn't look back. I'm like, I don't want anything to do with this. I hope she doesn't like report my car or license plate or make something up about me. Because here's the thing, the grand scheme of this story, the biggest concern with all of it, when you're an Uber and Lyft driver, you have no safety net. You have no protection. It's your word against someone else's. And honestly, they could say whatever they want about you, and you have to defend it. And that can be very scary, especially if it's a girl with a guy situation. There's been a lot of stories I've heard where people have made things up to get free rides, and it ended up costing people jobs and costing lawsuits, and it's just like, it's not worth it. But that's the world we live in right now, where people just make up what they want to, and the person being accused has to deal with the consequences of it. So that was my mindset leaving there. I'm like, this girl is literally, sorry about the sun there, this girl is literally crazy enough to make up a story about me at this point. So my heart was beating out of my chest. I was legit freaking out. And I think total for that ride, I made like $3.44 or something around that. Like, it was nothing. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, God damn, this is not worth it. It's just not. Like, the stress, the frustration, the heartbeats going out of my chest, like, this is just, it's not worth what you get paid here. But for those of you who saw my other video talking about it, why I had to do Uber and Lyft, being a full-time YouTuber, it was the only option at that point in my life. So I am thankful for the money that I got from it, but looking back, holy crap, they really abuse the drivers. And situations like that just go to show that it's not always pick someone up and drop them off at their destination. In fact, oftentimes, more often than you might think, situations rise up that you're just like, how the hell did I get myself into this situation? I'm just trying to make a living here. I'm just trying to get you to your destination. And people would do the craziest things. So there is my crazy Uber story. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I gave that talk to a lot of people I drove around because they'd always ask me, what was the craziest thing that ever happened? I'd be like, yep, that, easily. Without question, that would always be the story I'd fall back to. Not that there weren't other things that happened. I mean, there are people having sex in the back of the car, people doing drugs in the back of the car, people doing the craziest shit you could imagine while you're just trying to drive them to their destination. And there is no safety for the drivers at that point. So if you want to be an Uber and Lyft driver, yeah, the money's better than zero, but just know what you're getting yourself into. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.